Alright, hello guys. So sorry for the delay. So sorry for the delay. Technology decided to show us paper today, but we're going to get right into it. Welcome to day 5 of Kreate, and if you're here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Today I'm here with my younger brother. Can you introduce yourself?
Hey, hi guys, I'm Michael, Isaac's younger brother, and today I'll be joining him on the live. Let's see how it goes.
And by the way, today is Michael's birthday, so if just wish him happy birthday in the chat, and let's get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about scripting. In the past few days, I've gotten a couple of questions concerning my scripting process, and I didn't want to go deep into the creation process till maybe day 11 or day 12, but since so many questions have come in that direction, I've decided to take today to talk about scripting. So I want you to get your notes. Today is going to be very practical. Get your notes and if you type, you get your typing materials, and let's get into it. So just for some background, I want to tell you about the general ways we make videos for online content. Firstly, we have people that make videos without scripting. There are some content that by their nature they don't require scripting because they are straightforward, they don't have a narrative. But any content that has a narrative behind it can need scripting. So there are people that make videos without script, and the thing is, if you're making a narrative video without scripting, you're going to push most of the workload to when you are editing or when you are filming. When you're editing, actually, because if you don't script, that means during filming, if you don't script, especially a narrative piece, during filming, you can make a lot of mistakes, have to start over. You have a very long, you have very plenty footage, and you need to cut it down to something that works. So, not scripting works for two categories of people. Firstly, if your content does not require a narrative approach. For example, if you're just doing, if you're just documenting an event to make a recap video or something, you might not necessarily need to script. Or if you just want to shoot the ocean waves, you might not necessarily need to script. But once there's a narrative piece to it, scripting really helps. So the groups of people. Okay, so the second group of people that don't really need scripting are people that are natural. They're already authorities on the topic they want to talk about or they want to deliver, and they are media trained, so they naturally just are able to carry out or deliver whatever it is they need to deliver. The second group of people, in terms of scripting, are people that have bullet points. Recently, I've gotten more into having bullet points than full-fledged scripting. We talked about how if you don't script, most of the work is pushed on the editing side. With bullet points, basically you're basically sharing the workload. I would say 50-50, because some of the work is done in figuring out the exact bullet points you want to do, and the other aspect of the work is in editing out the parts where if you make mistakes just because it's not word for word scripting, you can edit those parts out. And then there are people that go full scripting. So when you go full scripting, most of the work is going to be done on the scripting side, yes, but also on the filming side, because you need to memorize your script. You need to memorize your script and deliver to the camera. So Michael, what kind of creator are you?
Okay, I believe that I've not really found my niche yet. I'm still in the process of doing that, but I'll say that I see myself going into relatable content more. Yes.
So in terms of scripting, does that require heavy scripting, bullet pointing, full scripting? What does it require? No scripting at all.
Well, there will be some form of scripting, obviously, but it will be mostly in the mind, like just a mental picture of what you want to do. But then it will be good to write it down, just to script the different shots that you need to take. But it's not really heavy scripting, it's just the shots you need to take, and then it can be memorized. It doesn't really need to be written down.
Awesome. Yeah. So, but I think ultimately you still need to get to the point where you can write down the script. And I think for you especially, it's going to be more shortlisting. So I think later on, we can talk about shortlisting. That's for people that do more cinematic or more work that require most of the work is on the shooting rather than dealing with a lot of words. You might need to do something called shortlisting, picking what kind of shot do you need for each, what kind of shot and in what sequence do you need them. But today we are not meant to talk about all that. We're meant to talk about scripting and the scripting process. Scripting is very easy and it's also very difficult depending on how you see it. And for a lot of people, depending on the kind of content you make, the scripting will make or break the content. Meaning that for somebody like me that makes, pieces that are heavily driven by words, what I script will make or break the video. If I have a bad script, inevitably, no matter how good my camera angle or whatever I have is, the video will be bad because the content it's conveying would not be good enough. So it's dependent on scripting. So this is one skill that is very essential for most creators. And what I'm going to teach you this night is transferable even to other aspects that require writing. So even if you're not going to script outrightly, you're going to write persuasively. You might need to write on your website, or you might need to write on a caption, or you might need to write the headline of something so that people will be able to read. So we're going to dive deep into it. For this class, I'm going to share my screen and I'll be typing. So it's going to be very practical. So if you're joining this class and you really need to grasp this concept of scripting, I want you to just get something that you're going to be writing your own idea. So before we get straight into scripting, I want to talk about the two formats of scripting that I have in my head. One is leaning more to information and educational content. One is leaning more to narrative content. And I hope we're able to finish both of them today. So the first format I learned from a very amazing YouTuber, Ali Abdal, is the 3-in-3 format. So it's basically like you have 3 parts of the video. I don't know how many people did essays in secondary school, essays or primary school. You have 3 parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end, or the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Yes. So that's basically the idea, right? You divide your videos into 3 parts. So give me an example of a video in the chat. Let me see. Give me an example of a topic, an educational topic that you want to teach your audience. Or maybe Margaret, give us an example. Yeah. Mostly educational or something that has a lot of information that you want to convey. Maybe how to, let's use this video. Let's use this topic, how to script. Yes. So how to script. That's just a very simple topic idea. And if you have a topic, oil and gas mining. All right. Thank you very much. Oil and gas mining. So let's say you're a creator that talks about geography of the world, and you want to say oil and gas mining, right? You now divide that video into three parts: the introduction, the middle, and the conclusion. That introduction, what we'll call it in scripting, is called the hook. So the hook, the aim of the hook is to draw people in. And once, the hook has to be very strong. In fact, you need to pay a lot of attention to the hook, because if you can't get people into your video, and no matter how good your body is, you'll never get to that point. So your hook is very important. But we'll actually practically write, all this. But I'm just building some background. So then the body of the text. So this 3-in-3 format is basically you divide your video into three parts, and in those three parts you also have three parts. So in your hook, in your intro, you have the first line, then you have something that fleshes it out more, and you have something that tells us, okay, let's get into the video. Then in that body, you can now have three topics. So I'm going to show you a very good example actually. Let's go straight to my screen with some previous YouTube videos I've done. Let me put this here. So this is a dashboard I started using recently. So I have some video ideas and all that I've been writing. So this is the last video I wrote, and I've actually tampered with it a bit because it's not originally how it was, but we can still use it to show the example I'm showing you. You should load. Okay. So now let's look at this. This is my script. Let me know if you can see. I like a shirt. Give away incoming. What's damage? You want to damage me for sleep? All right. So we have my intro. Let me know if you can see my screen. Is it clear enough? Do I need to? Let me know if you can see my screen. I need to know if you can see my screen so that this one is way behind. Anyway, I'll start. Then I'll keep checking the chat. You can't see my screen. Gosh. What are you saying instead? Are you here? Check the line. Let me see what you can see. I wish I could show you. Increase the text size. Okay. Okay, you can't see. Okay. I know what the problem. Audio now. There should be audio now. Let's go. So this was a script I did for a video recently, and we have the 3-in-3 structure. So I have my intro. This is my intro. That's the first part. Now I remember I told you I usually use bullet points, right? So I have the three parts of the body, and when I go to the end, you see my outro, and you see. All right. So now let's break it down. When I go to my intro, the intro was a bit creative, so it was, and the Creator of the Year award goes to Isaac, the creator. Right, so that's the first line that's supposed to draw people in. And why is that line fascinating to me in my case? Because it's not what you expect from a video that is teaching you how to start your year, right? So it's kind of like painting a picture of the future. Oh, because I set my structures well, I won the Creator of the Year award. So that's supposed to be the first point. And then let me tell you about the three-part structure. When you have the hook, right, you're supposed to have something that distorts the balance, right? Something that creates chaos. Now I'm speaking in movie terms, right? So when you have the beginning of a movie, there's the beginning of a movie, maybe they can just introduce you to the world, introduce you to what's going on in that movie world. Then something now comes to break the disbalance. Give an example of a movie. For example, we had Lion King. I'm sure a lot of us have watched Lion King. At the beginning of Lion King, you have, Mufasa showing Simba around the savannah. Everything was rosy until what happened? Scar killed Mufasa. Boom, story has started. Do you understand? So you can steal this kind of concept into your scripting process to ensure that people are hooked and then they stay to the end to know the end. Do you understand? So I implore this in the sense that I say the Creator of the Year award goes to Isaac the creator, and boom, it's a dream, right? But then because it's mostly an educational video, I did that just to start it. So we have the first part, which is the hook. So even the intro has a hook. The hook, the chaotic elements. So now how can you do it in terms of another kind of educational video? Let's use that example again. Oil and gas mining. This is South Africa, and about 5,000 people. Is this a good example? Let me just use it because that's what in my head. This is South Africa. So now we are trying to in. Oh, I'm interested in this country. And about 5,000 people die every year, not from mosquito bites or from explosions, but from something you wouldn't expect. Now I've created an element of chaos. Every year, so many people die from mining. In this video, we're going to talk about the state of mining in South Africa. Let's get right into it. So we had the first part, which was saying, introducing you or pulling you in. I bet you didn't know that, right? So that's the hook. And then you have, what do you call it? The chaotic element. And then you have what now draws you into the rest of the video. So the third part is meant to tell you what your content is about. You understand? The third part now tells you, so in this video we're going to be breaking down, or in this video we're going to be whatever you're doing. So you can put this in context of whatever kind of video you make. You understand? So now I now have the body. In the body, I have my 3 points, right? I want to talk about vision, I want to talk about structures, I want to talk about bias for execution. You understand? So we have 3 points. Then I now flesh these 3 points out with 2 to 3 bullet points. You understand? So it's a 3 in 3 in 3 method. You understand? And then finally you have the outro. So let's do a quick example together. Let's make another. Time is up. So today we might not get into the Dan Harmon cycle, but at least if we learn this, it will be nice. So we're going to start a new video, my ideas. All right. Let's name it. What should we name it? What should we write about? Let me know what should we write about. So on the internet. No, on the internet. Alright, let's write about. Okay, what should we write about?
An educational video.
Let's see. Or it can be a story. Like the one time that I
One time that I
okay. Nothing from the chat yet. What should we write about?
one time that I traveled out
Okay.
the country.
One time I traveled out of the country. That's what we want to write about. Alright. The effect of social media and communication skills. Okay. Let's take that one. Or should we take let's take this one. This one sounds interesting. Okay. So let's use this template for narrative. I wonder what time to end the stream because we didn't start on time. But once we are done with this topic, we'll end the stream. Oh, internet. How bad is your stream? Let me see. Let me see your phone. Alright, so let's start. Now we have our intro. I wish I was, I wish I was in time so that we can collaborate. But it doesn't seem to be. Alright, it is actually. So let's start with our intro. We're talking about the one time we traveled out of the country, right? So examples of intros should, our hook should pull people in, right? It should draw people in. And I'm sure if you're not new to TikTok and Instagram, you see that there are a lot of hooks on at the beginning of people's video that hit you in, that pull you into the video, right? For example, you can hear all the creators are making this mistake, or you can hear do this to grow your following to so number, or you can hear you won't believe how Trump so that first sentence, is what will make people decide to commit to your video. And there are different ways to write the first sentence, but since this is a story, right, we want to narrate a story of how we traveled abroad. One time I traveled out of the country. Let's decide what country do you travel to. Travel to Spain, right? It can be as simple as you won't believe what I found out about Spain, or something like that, right? You won't believe what I found out about Spain. It can be as simple as that, right? Or you can be, if you have another example, just drop it in the chat. It can be here is. It can be have a contrast, right? It can be I thought Spain was fun and all, but here's what I discovered, right? I thought Spain was fun, or Spain is meant to be, but that contrast. Spain is meant to be beautiful, but or here is what the government doesn't want you. Here's what the Spanish government doesn't want you to know about Spain. You understand? So all those kind of things are just to create that intrigue and pull people in, right? So you don't, by using this, you won't believe what I found out about Spain. 5 months ago, so we're now setting some background, right? 5 months ago, I took all the money I had and purchased. So now we're still setting some background, right? And we're still making it interesting because this is still part of the intro, right? But we're giving them some context. So now I want to say that 5 months ago I took all the money I had and bought these tickets. The mission was simple: travel to Spain. So now we're done with the intro, right? We know that this video is about somebody traveling to Spain. Do you understand? I don't know if you get, the very good. Spain is one underrated country. That's another thing you can say, right? So 5 months ago, I took all the money I had and bought these tickets. The third line will now tell us what the video is basically about, right? So I had one goal. Travel to Spain. And you won't believe what I found. I think that's repetitive because you're already saying it the first time, right? You can just say travel to Spain and full stop. Now body. Now in the body we now actually tell them what the whole video is about, right? What do we find out in Spain that they don't know, right? So we can start by just setting some. So now we divide this into 3 parts again. Day 1 of my trip was all right. You can just tell them, okay, maybe we spent 3 days in Spain, right? So you can say day 1 was very normal. I ate kene in this. And have you tried spaghetti from Spain? Is actual spaghetti? No, just making the video interesting, right? Then day 2 is when the thing actually happened. But on day 2, it all came. Day 2, it all. How we phrase it? Yeah. Day 2, it all became clear that Spain wasn't. It became all clear that Spain was. Became clear that Spain wasn't all rosy. I started my adventure by falling in the gutter. The roads aren't even paved. You now complain. Right? So that can be the second part of the body. And then in the third part of the body, you can now resolve. So now, I'm now teaching you the 3-part system, right? Hey, you're not seeing my screen again, Abby. Let me just put my... So, in this 3-part system, in the third part, you now resolve the conflict. So we started by an intro. In the intro, we had the hook. After the hook, we give some more context and we lead people into the video. Now, in the body, you have the beginning of the body or the conflict. After the conflict, part 1 and part 2 are basically the conflict. But part 1 now introduces you into the conflict. Part 2 establishes more of the conflict. So, like in this example, let's go back to Notion. I'm not typing fast enough, that's why I'm just talking so that we can go. Or if you want me to still type, you can be writing your own story as we're doing it, right? By the way, if you write your story, I want to see it afterwards. So make sure you join the Kreate community and send your story in. Now we'll see what you learned from this session. So, we're talking about the body now, right? So the first part of the body introduces you into the conflict. Remember, there is no story without conflict. So that second part is dwelling on the conflict, right? So you now flesh out the conflict. I found out that Spain roads aren't paved. I found out that the air is toxic. I found out this. Then the third part resolves the conflict. You can now bring a good angle. But in as much as I fell down in the gutter and the air was very tough for me to breathe, I found out that the best part about Spain isn't just the roads and the air, but it's the friends you meet along the way. Can you have resolved the conflict? And now that leads you into the outro. So although Spain wasn't all rosy, my friend gave me this rose. So it makes up for and so that's the end of the video. And I believe this structure of video can be applied in different contexts. And the thing about most good videos is that as much as they are good, knowing the frameworks that are behind some of these videos will help you to craft your own video. And if you can do it in a way that is seamless, people won't be able to tell that, there's an actual framework or structure behind what you're writing. You understand? So please let me know if everything I said was clear or if it wasn't clear. So I'll know if I explained it well or not. Let me know. Pause damage, was it clear? Amazing. Thank you so much, Julian. Alright, so I would really love to see you practice. I want to pause damage, especially I want to see you in the Telegram community, and I want to see you send your assignments, send your example tonight. You understand? Not tonight, sorry. Tonight is tomorrow. So tomorrow I want to see you send your own. Juliet, I want to see you send your own as well. Now you must not write a story as well done, but use the 3-in-3 structure to write something in your own niche, in the area of the video or videos that you work on. This is the structure I use to script most of the time. But there's also another one I learned which is called the Dan Harmon story cycle. But that should be for another day. For now, use the 3-in-3 structure and that will learn something. Michael, how was it? Did you learn something?
Yeah, I learned something.
Alright, thank you so much for your time. Once again, I apologize for the stream starting late. Technology was messing with us, and we'll still check what the problem is and we'll know what's going on. But for now, have a wonderful evening. Bye.
How was today's session? I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section. Now, to ensure that you put everything you learned into practice, we are building a community of creators just like me and you that come together to keep each other accountable, to share ideas, and to work together. The name of this community is called Kreate Community. To be a part of this community is simple and it's free. All you have to do is click the link pinned in the live chat or the link in the description. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow. Bye.